Hey Falcons, Mrs. Pfeiffer here for week 5, part 1 of our summer learning. I hope you're getting outside and enjoying all the wonderful weather. It has been so hot here. We actually just got back from a trip at the beach, so with our family. So that was a lot of fun, and we were able to get outside and enjoy the beach with our son Brantley for the first time. So we're getting home and just getting back in the swing of things. So I'm glad to be back here with you. Last week we talked all about adjectives and we read the book Dragons Love Tacos, and we said that there were tons of adjectives in that story. Can you tell someone that you're with, or comment below if you can, what is an adjective? What is an adjective? So if you said that an adjective is a word that describes a noun, you're correct. So remember, we said a noun is a person, place, or thing, and an adjective is a word that kind of makes it a little bit better, a little more interesting. So an adjective uses your 5 senses, and we said there were so many adjectives in um, Dragons Love Tacos, things like crunchy or colors like red and green. It helps the reader understand the story a little bit better, and they're able to visualize the story a little bit better. So I have the Dragons Love Taco story. And if you remember, I had that app that I told you to check out. Sadly, they don't have the story that we're going to read this week, but I think you'll still love it. So Dragons Love Tacos, we had said there was tons of adjectives in here. And remember, we said adjectives are words that describe nouns. So we said like things like the sizzling pan. Can't you hear that popping sound of the hot pan? We said crispy tortillas, they're crunchy. So there was like every page was filled with adjectives, and that's what great authors do. They put adjectives in their stories to make the reader more interested. If it just said there was meat in a pan, that's not very interesting, right? But they said there was taco meat in the sizzling pan. That's a little bit more interesting. Do you see where I'm going with that? So when you're writing stories, it's important for you to put adjectives in your stories too that'll make your reader want to read it even more. So Dragon Love Tacos, filled with them. We're going to continue talking about that this week. In fact, in this video, we're going to review what we've already learned about adjectives. And we're going to talk about something new that we're going to be working on this week. And we'll go over our vocabulary for our story. And our story might be a book that you already have. It's called Something Beautiful. I just got it in the mail the other day. And I think you're really going to like this story. I sure did. I think it is a really cool and different story than what we're used to. So I really like it. So if you have this story, if this story was sent to you, maybe you can get that out and read with me. If not, it's no big deal because you can read along with me without even seeing the story. You can see it on the screen. Okay, so we said adjectives are words that describe nouns. This week we're going to learn all about a new thing. It's called schema. You may have heard this before in school because readers use it all the time. And schema, all it means is what you already know. You can relate to the story, what you already know. So you know plenty already. You actually do. You know a lot. I know you're in school still, but you do know a lot, and you can relate to a lot of the stories that you read. And when you're relating to the stories, you are becoming a better reader. You're understanding the story better, and that's so important. So we're going to do that this week. We're going to practice it. We're going to talk about it. So when we talk about the word schema, so that we remember what schema is, we're going to go like this. Schema is, do that with me. Schema is what you already know. What you already know. So schema is what you already know. What you already know. So when we're using our schema, we are connecting what we already know. Okay, we're going to practice that in this video, and then we'll put it in when we read our story called Something Beautiful. Okay. before we get into our little activity of practicing schema, I want to go over some vocabulary words that we're going to have in our story. That there's some of the words you might have not heard before, some of them you may have. So the first one is beautiful, which I know you've heard that word before. And beautiful just means, sorry, I had to get new tape. It just means something gorgeous, something pretty, something nice to look at. And it even goes in our story, it'll tell you what beautiful means. Okay? Okay, so our next word is citizenship. And citizenship means that you are a citizen or you belong to that community or country or neighborhood in this case. So citizenship. Can you say that with me? Citizenship. That's a tricky word to say. So we have beautiful and citizenship. The next word is, and I think you know what this one means already, but the next word is caring. Over here. And caring means that you're very kind to someone. The next one you may have not. Some of you may have, but you might not know. It's a laundrette. Can you say laundrette? And a laundrette is just a laundromat where you go and do your laundry. Two words left. The next one is self-esteem. Can you say self-esteem? Self-esteem is that all that means is the confidence that you have in yourself and what you can do. So how you feel about yourself. Is your self-esteem high? Do you have a very good self-esteem, or do you have a low self-esteem where you don't feel very good about yourself? The last word is courtyard. Can you say courtyard? And a courtyard, some of you may know what this is because you have seen it before. But a courtyard is an area outside where people gather. It doesn't have a roof. It's just like a yard that may be fenced in, things like that. So those are our words for our story. Let's come up with some motions now. Okay, so let's just start at the top. So we have caring. Mirzan. Caring means to be kind. To be kind. Beautiful means to be pretty. To be pretty. Laundrette means to clean your clothes at a laundromat. Laundromat. So it means a laundromat. Citizenship means to belong in a community. To belong in a community. Self-esteem means how I feel about myself. Self-esteem means how I feel about myself. Courtyard, the courtyard is a place with no roof and it's outside. Just keep going like this, huh? Mirrors off. So those are our words. If you forget, try to think of some motions to go with them. Okay. So we talked about our vocabulary. We talked about schema. We talked about adjectives. Now we're going to go and we are going to do a little activity about schema to help us when we go read our story. Okay, so what we're going to do to practice schema is talk about something that we all know something about. Living in Ohio, something we all know about is spider webs. Have you ever seen a spider web? I'm sure you have. If you haven't, you should Google it, but I'm pretty sure you have, or at least seen a spider. So we're going to talk about all of the things that we already know about spider webs. Being that we live in Ohio, especially in the fall, there are always spider webs. So let's talk about that. Now, I know I can't hear you, so your ideas you'll have to tell your family or your friends or whoever you're with, or if you can, try commenting below. I know it hasn't been working very well. but just try your best. Okay, so schemas, things that we already know. Well, all we're going to do is just list out everything we know about spider webs. Something I know is they're kind of sticky. And they're hard to see. Their spiders make them. Are you coming up with some ideas? You can write them down with me or just say them out loud or tell someone in the room. What else do we know about spider webs? We see them a lot in October around Halloween. So we can put October, Halloween. Let's see. They are usually like when I go on walks a lot in our neighborhood, that I always run into them when they're like in trees. So I'm gonna put trees. Sometimes I find them in the corners. They're kind of hidden, aren't they? Um, they can be shiny if the light hits them in the right space spot. They bugs get stuck in them. We could go on and on and on about spider webs because it's schema, it's something we already know about. So if we were about to read about spiders, we would already have some background information about it and we can relate to that, right? So when we're reading stories, it's important that you relate to it. When we read Dragons Love Tacos, how many of you have ever had a taco before? I mean, I have. I love tacos. So you can relate to the story because you love tacos. How many of you maybe don't like the spicy salsa? Okay, remember we said that the dragons didn't like the spicy salsas. Can you relate to that? Maybe you don't like spicy things, or maybe you do like spicy things and it's the opposite. But you can relate to your mouth being hot, right? When you eat something spicy. So that's what schema is. That's using the background things that you already know to relate to a story or to understand the story better. We use that stuff all the time, and we're definitely going to use it in the next video that you have with me when we read Something Beautiful. And I think you're going to be able to connect to this quite a bit. I hope you guys have a great day. And I hope the weather's nice for you and you're watching this and you get outside today. I will see you soon.